Howdy, Laoshi Lawrence McElroy here for Water Tiger School of Tai Chi Chuan. Maybe we found our rhythm. We're here at the 3-week mark, as we said we would be. So we'll see how we do moving forward. So yay. That's still the plan. The world's still kind of wild out there. So we'll see how this goes. We pointed to what this video was going to be about at the end of the last one. Sort of. We edited it so you wouldn't actually hear the clue, which was a line from the late 80s, early 90s television series Wise Guy. Only the toes knows. It's a stretching video, and we're going to focus on the toes. We don't think about the 10 of the 2 down there very much. And that can be to our detriment. There are a lot of benefits to keeping your toes flexible. If nothing else, the big toe alone, big toe flexibility, can contribute to keeping that particular toe in proper alignment. Without that alignment, the foot would have limited to no stability, would have no shock absorption qualities really at all, would limit propulsive force. And the toes in general, all of them, can help prevent runner's knee, reduce foot and ankle pain, muscle soreness, improve your overall foot health, and in that way sort of your overall health. If for no other reason, it allows you to be mobile and to stay fit, as well as, a bonus, again, greater ankle stability. These are all good things. So 4 basic stretches. Oh, I didn't want to leave out that there are a lot of illnesses of the foot, a lot of conditions of the foot related to the ball of the foot, and very much in lack of flexibility in the toes. And let's see if I can remember what they are. Neuroma. Is it I think it's sesamoiditis, and capsulitis. There we go. And the bonus, right? You can have this nice ball kick, right? And you can pull the toes back. If you don't have that toe flexibility, toes are going to be forward, and that makes it a toe kick, and your toes better be really, really strong and full of energy to do a toe kick. But if you can get them out of the way, dorsiflex the foot, so ankle and foot flexibility, you can get a nice ball kick out of it. So as I was saying before, my brain glitch went away, and I remembered there was something else I wanted to say about foot health. 4 of them. Some of them you've seen some version of them as part of another video, but not as specifically drilling into the fact that the toes are being stretched. So since it's a stretching video, didn't really choose a t-shirt, so I'm just in sort of a normal stretching, physical training gear, and my shoes are off. No real need for modifications. It's just, tone down the intensity of the stretch. You may, because there's one that's a forward fold, you may with the forward fold, if you can't reach your toes in a forward fold, put your foot on a chair. Or for that matter, just sit down and, sit cross-legged and get to your toes that way. But the first is just down dog. So, down dog from yoga. We did a yoga for Tai Chi video ages ago. So, in plank, and go back into downward dog. And the idea here is arms and legs straight, kind of making a triangle here. And generally, the instruction is that you're pressing your heels as close to the ground as possible. And I'm going to separate my feet a little bit. And I'm going to do that with one foot. I'm going to keep the left heel down. I'm going to raise the right heel, and I'm going to do more than just pump the heels back and forth. Look at that toe bend. And just playing with the toes. And that toe bend. And then switch. And do the same thing. We're just going to do 3 pairs here. I might change my mind. It's a different microphone than the last video. And switch, it's wireless. We've tried the wireless before.
with our technology that we use for shooting videos, and it hasn't worked very well. So we're hoping that this will work. I don't know if you heard that pop or not. Got a little toe pop out of it. And just going back and forth. I think I said 3 pairs, and I think this is 3, but I think I want a couple more. And as I'm talking and working the toes, I'm sort of losing my down dog, and I prefer to stay in that down dog. So you're getting leg stretches and shoulder stretches, and a little bit of glute, maybe. I don't know. Last, the second side. And there you go. There's the first one. Just really focusing on working the toes and down dog. Now, I'm going to drop the knees down.
Now, this is sometimes called sitting on feet or thunderbolt pose, or there's another one, what is it, diamond pose in yoga. And normally it's done for a lot of people with the feet flat. So you're getting an ankle and foot stretch here. But, oh, there is a modification on this one. Sorry, I forgot. And sit down with your toes folded. And we're just going to rest here. And the modification is yoga block. Take pressure off the knees. For me, because of my flexibility, I have to set on the long part of the block. I have to put the block under like that. Boom. But that would be your modification, something like that. Or otherwise, just sit down and feel that stretch. Just breathe, relax. Let gravity, if you start to feel too much pressure. Another use for the yoga block, if you set the yoga block beside you, and that way you can take some of the weight from your ankles. And just breathing. Letting things take care of themselves. Allowing, that's a big thing for Water Tiger School. Allowing things to happen. And, you know, you want to turn up the intensity a little bit. I'm rocking side to side. Just feeling that happening. You can go for about another 30 seconds or so. Breathing. Relaxing and releasing. So if you follow Water Tiger, you know we hosted World Tai Chi Day back at the end of April. And coming out of that, we're hoping to have the gallery, and I'm going to do a little counter stretch. I'm going to go back to where I started with this and set on the ankles this way, stretch the toes out a little bit the other direction, because that's a pretty intense stretch with your weight on your feet like that. And we were hoping that by the end of June, which is more or less where we're at today as we shoot this, that we would have the gallery updated on our World Tai Chi Day archive. Yeah, it hasn't happened. So I didn't realize I still had a mint. Now, I'm going to stand. This would be the one that you might want to grab a chair. So you can either put your foot in your chair so you can reach your toes, or for that matter, just drop your butt in it and cross your legs so you can reach your toes. But I'm going to do the forward fold. And more or less with this, this was actually supposed to be the fourth stretch. I'm doing these a little bit out of order. So, didn't do a swan dive or anything, just came down into it. And now what I'm going to do is spend some time just manipulating my toes.
pulling them around, circling them. This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy went wee, wee, wee all the way home. Little mother goose with your water tiger skull. That's probably good on that foot. I'm going to go over to the left. Don't worry, I'm not going to do little piggy a second time. Maybe. Maybe I will spare you that. Again, little circles. Manipulating the big toe. Manipulating the second toe. Would that be the index toe? Manipulating the middle toe. Like the hand is the middle toe, the toe of expression. Like the middle finger is the finger of expression. Fourth toe. Pinky. A little toe. I'm just going back to kind of working. I really wasn't watching the clock, so I'm not sure how much time I spent on the right foot. You know, another thing that can help with the three illnesses I mentioned before, the neuroma, sesamoiditis, I think was sesamoid. Is it itis? Ditis, sorry. It's ditis. And the last one, capsulitis, are little yoga toe separators that will actually hold the toes out separate, kind of like what I'm doing. That one's a little bit too big there. My fingers here. Now I know of people who can, like we do separate fingers and do finger waves and that sort of thing. They can do those sort of things with their toes. I'm not one of those people. And there you go. A little play with the toes. And get into the ball of the foot a little bit. I felt a little something going on just at the base of the second toe. And then last, my head's going to be off camera, right, is in one of the earlier videos, we didn't check the date, the warm-up was something called loosen the body joints from awakening the chi. And loosen the body joints hits 4 intersections down through the body. Some of them are joint intersections, and what I mean by joint, they are joints, but also, duos. Because the neck, then you have the hips, so both hips, you have the knees, both knees, and you have the ankles. And in the ankle portion, we do an ankle rotation that's weighted and isometric. And often the verbal from me at this point, and turn sideways so you can sort of see once again that toe bend. I talk about starting the ankle rotation, isometric and weighted ankle rotation, by getting this little toe stretch here and then rolling around on the ball of the foot. So you're getting a little edge of the ball of the foot massage, but also every time you come to the front,
You're getting a toe stretch and around. I mean, you can just skip the rotation, but I like the ankle rotation too. And just work the ball of the foot, the toes, toe joints this way. And go back and forth and sort of roll. Go back around and do the ankle rotation. So get a little bit more foot action. And also, what I'm doing here, falling over apparently, is pressing down and putting that pressure in the ankle, and of course rolling forward. It's also in the toes. Careful if you do the ankle rolls and going to the outside. When I go to the outside, notice that vulnerability there that's in your ankle, so you have to be careful of that when you roll to the outside. But again, if you don't like the ankle rotation thing, if that's not your cup of tea, then just spending time on the toes themselves. It's good on that side. Switch and face this way. And again, weight and isometric. So I'm not only putting a little bit of weight forward, being careful with that, but I'm also pressing down into the earth. So I'm activating the leg muscles, hip and glute muscles, to press down. And then once again, rolling to the outside. Notice that vulnerability. You want to be careful. Going around. And of course, breathing. And maybe hanging out in the front, rolling from the big toe to the little toe, from the little toe back to the big toe. Back and forth, back and forth. And then going back to my ankle rotations. Back around. So again, not a lot to remember today. Be careful. As always, there's a reason why this is called stretching and not straining. So you want to be careful, especially with the toe manipulation. It's really easy to sort of, get the hand strength and like, oh, my toes are like silly putty. And then the next thing you know, you've pulled a tendon. So you really do want to be careful with that. But there you are. 4 relatively easy stretches to remember. You have the down dog. And instead of just, a lot of people will do this and they'll just pump the feet back and forth, sort of work the Achilles and the calves a little bit more, the back of the knee into the hamstring. But if you spend some time here, you get those nice toe stretches. You have the thunderbolt pose, the diamond pose, opening the ankles up if you want. But then you also have this very dynamic, and sometimes, with some people, especially if you don't have a lot of toe flexibility to start, pretty intense. So you may be up here and not sitting down on anything. Or you might be sitting down a little bit closer, but not necessarily on your shins or your ankles or all the way down. I'm not going to stand up and do the forward fold again because here's another variation. If you can reach your toes this way, just playing with the toes. Little rotations, etc. And then, of course, that last one that we just did which is the roll around on the ball of the foot. And again, you can skip the ankle rotation if you're just interested in the toe stretches. I don't even have to be standing. I don't really have to be standing for the ankle rotations either, but you get a little bit more intensity standing and doing this and putting more of the weight of the body into it. And there you go. Your toe stretches for this video installment for Water Tiger School. We plan on being back in 3 weeks, something Tai Chi oriented. We still have a few things in the pipeline, but we don't have to, come up with a topic. As always with these videos on the YouTube channel, we do screen all the comments, but not to take out the people who, disagree with something that we say or the way in which we do something, as long as it's done respectfully. But actually just because, there's a box you can click on for YouTube's algorithms to pull out any possibly inappropriate comments. But those algorithms don't seem to catch certain hot links to certain companion-ish kind of sites. So that's why we screen all of them. We will, of course, share a link to this video on our Facebook page, which is a little bit more open, but sort of the same thing. As long as comments are respectful, we'll leave them up even if somebody disagrees with us. But if you're disrespectful on the Facebook page, it will be deleted and you will be blocked. So there you are. I hope, as always, that you enjoyed this little time we spent with toe stretches, that maybe it opened your eyes to, I don't think about my toes very much. My toes aren't very flexible. Well, this is how you do that. Like any stretches, hamstrings, shoulders, back, anything that you stretch so you have more mobility, more range of motion, the stretch is meant to increase that range of motion. So you have to make a commitment to doing toe stretches on a regular basis, which is something that I do and I suggest my students do as well through Water Tiger School. So there you are. Again, hope you like it. And we will see you hopefully in another 3 weeks. Take care. Be well and be safe. Depending upon where you are, just remember the 3 W's: wash your hands, wear a mask, and watch your physical distance. Still kind of a good idea regardless of where you are, because there's still a lot of infection out there, even in some areas that are considered low these days. So just be careful, as always, as we should be, right? Be aware, be safe, be well. Thanks, guys. Later.